FIA EXPO Chicago 2023. John Lothian News sat down with Keith Todd and Peter Weiler. Keith, why did TT acquire Abel Noser Solutions?
Really important move for Trading Technologies. As you know, we have a breadth of EMS, OMS capabilities, but we were missing a really important ingredient, which is to do with the data and analytics that help influence how trading is done, and also provides the ability to look at trade processes in a post-trade manner. So a really critical point of the evolution of TT to be a complete, rounded company. TT, as you know very well, John, historically has not been in the equity space. Abel Noser brings to the party a wonderful array of equity TCA users and also a magnificent array of buy-side clients. So a really important, pivotal acquisition for TT, and it's going to bring some benefits to Abel Noser Solutions, I hope, Peter.
We're really excited to join the TT family, and one of the most critical parts that we were missing with our data and analytics business was being part of an ecosystem, and also having a global footprint. I've always said that the irony here is that we have a global products, multi-asset, but never had a global footprint. So now that's all changed. We also have very complementary skill sets in the different asset classes. So Abel Noser's a pioneer in the equities space for transaction cost analysis. We've branched out to fixed income and now moved into derivatives, futures, and options, where now we have the subject matter expertise across every asset class.
What type of clients are driving the increase in volume?
The work on the integration of those assets that we've acquired, the people and the features and the functions, and that should not be underestimated. The power of the growth that those businesses will provide us. There can be much debate about the what's known as TAM, target addressable market, of the EMS, OMS in derivatives. But let's just, for convenience, call it $500 million. When you look at the FX and fixed income markets, it is multiple of that. So what we have done so far is laid down the seeds. Importantly, going back to your question about what's next, Abel Noser brought us TCA. Well, it also brought us with complementary surveillance in and compliance reporting in equities. That merged with our own capability creates a whole new business opportunity around the compliance space. The second thing it brings to us is a very capable algo engine for equities, something we've never had. So what we're envisaging going into next year is the ability to go after the equity space in a more profound way with a broader set of algos for the marketplace, and that would add equity capability to the EMS world that TT operates in.
How was the celebration for opening your new office? Anytime
you have a new home, there's an excitement, isn't there? There's a novelty about it. It's a very appealing space. It's drawing people back to the office, people wanting to be back in with their colleagues in a different sort of environment. Lots of meeting rooms, a lot of relaxed space. The famous tech tap is still there. So at the end of the day, you can have a pint. So it drew everybody together. I think it was important that the board was there to celebrate with all of the teams. And as you witnessed, but for the wider audience, we had not the chairman of the company opening it, but two important people, the longest serving and the most one of the newest people to the company, to be able to open the building. So important celebration of a moment.
What is driving the demand for TCA beyond equities?
There are for a number of drivers. First is on the regulatory landscape. Certainly people are focused on this, and it's become not a want, but a need. Secondly, the electronification of the markets. We saw it in equities, and now we're seeing it very strongly in fixed income, and we're seeing it as well in some of the other asset classes and in the derivative space. How it's evolving is very interesting because most of TCA to this date has been post-trade analytics, post-trade analysis. Now we're starting to see pre-trade analysis and at-trade analysis. And that's really going to be the game changer in the space, where a trader can literally be on an ecosystem, be on a platform, be able to look at their TCA, look at their trade, look at the analytics, and they don't have to go to different spots. I think of it as swivel chair analysis. That won't be needed anymore. Having one platform and being pre-trade and at-trade is the future.
Something Peter's referred to a lot, which should not be underestimated, is the multi-asset TCA. Abel Noser was very strong in a couple of those asset classes and lighter in the other. You know, the investment program we have behind Peter is there to provide the best in class across all these asset classes. So the ability to one-stop shop and buy multi-asset TCA is going to be very powerful for the buy side. And quite interesting, since we've done this, the number of sell-side companies approaching us to say, tell me more about this TCA business. You know, we do some of it ourselves, but not very well. Could we look to outsource it to you?
What were some of the insights shared at TT Connect?
TT has never had its own conference. This was a one-day event with a little social in the evening. It was incredibly well attended, well sponsored. The subject matter was Asia Insights. So we picked a topic which we thought would be interesting to the European markets that frankly don't fully understand the Asia opportunity. Asia has 4 letters in it, and even APAC if you put in the Pacific. But it is a cocktail of very different cultures, very different markets, huge geographies, and completely different political dimensions to it. So one of the key messages are you can't cookie cutter Asia. You've got to adapt for the particular community to be able to be out there. The second message that really stood out for me was Trevor, the economist that presented there, laid out the charts and the growth that's happened in some parts of Asia. Singapore is a great example. You know, from when Lee Kuan Yew arrived, $516 GDP per capita. Now, 90,000 per capita. If you look across what's happening across of Asia, that economic growth per capita is happening across Asia. The punchline is, you can't not be involved if you're in a global business. The final thing that really struck me was on the FX panel. Yes, FX is an asset class that gets traded, but actually FX for capital markets is a service because all of the asset classes need to hedge their positions in their currencies of their own domain. So FX as a service really rang and resonated with me.
For more Expo content, visit johnlothiannews.com.